The way you make me feel.
Yeah.
You talk to me. Okay, so while the guys are blowing down the engine, doing the final clean on it, I'm going to mix up the DP product. This is what we choose. It's the DP90LF. That stands for lead-free. That means it's a little safer on the old body. This stuff is direct to metal. It'll seal that engine off. It'll give us a good substrate to go over the top of. This product goes 2 to 1. That's 2 parts of the actual primer to 1 part of the catalyst. So I'll get my PPG cup out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 4 ounces of primer. Should have brought my glasses. We're going to go to the 6. That's going to give us a 2 to 1 ratio. You want to stir that up. So you just need a primer gun to apply it with. Throw a filter in there. That'll filter out any kind of little chunks, like if you have some chunk around this edge. So if you look inside there, those little bubbles and chunks represent something that you don't want trying to go through the fluid needle of a paint gun. When you put this on, I usually shoot it around 30 to 40 psi. I got the oven on at about 80 degrees. It'll set up in 30 minutes and be ready for a top coat. So I've got the DP90 on and a medium wet coat. The oven is running on the booth, so in about 30 minutes I'll be able to top coat it with the actual engine color, Hemi Orange. Hit the engine for paint, I hit it with a coat of DP90, and now we're ready for the final coat of Street Hemi Orange. So I've mixed up my own color right now that I like to use on the engines. It's an exact duplicate to the original Street Hemi Orange. It is a single stage paint. You don't want to do a base coat, clear coat on an engine. You want to do a single stage Deltron concept. That's the best product I found. It is a little shiny when I'm first finished, but after the engine's been ran a few times, it dies back down, has a natural, normal sheen to it, looks good for years to come. The ratio on this is 4 to 2 to 1. So I got my cup out here. I'm going to put 4 parts of color, 2 parts of hardener, and 1 part of reducer in it. And I know I talk a lot about my PPG products, and the truth is I use them for many, 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 many years. I've used them since I started my shop in 1985. It's the colors for me. The product's durable. It lasts a long time. It's great finish. But the fact is, I can mix up EV2 on a car, and it's spot on Hemi Orange. Top Banana FY1. FC7, FE5 Rally Red, doesn't matter what color it is. If I go to that bank and I go to that computer, I look up the formula, I mix it, I'm on. It's just the kind of thing that's hard to argue with. So now that I've got my color in there, I'm right at the 4 mark. The next one is reducer. I like to use a slow reducer just because I have the heat on in there. It'll give me a nice finish. There's 4 to 2, and the 1 is the catalyst. That's right there. Again, this is a single stage. It does not need to be top coated with a clear. It has a beautiful finish when it dries. What happens if I make a mistake? Well, I don't make mistakes, so I guess we'll know. Before I fire the booth up, I'll just show you real quick how you know that your DP is ready other than a timer is just look at the sheen. When I put it on, it was very, very wet. Had a gloss to it. Now you notice it has an eggshell or a matted finish. Look around it, make sure there aren't any hot spots, what I call a hot spot, which is a spot that hasn't cured out all the way, so it'll still show shiny and wet. I do not see any of those on that. I'm going to go turn the booth on, start making magic. That's what I do. Chrysler introduced the Street Hemi Orange in 1969 and used it all the way to 1971 on their high-performance engines. I love that color. It's similar but not exactly the same as the EV2 Hemi Orange. The EV2 Hemi Orange has a metallic in it. The engine enamel does not. Once you mix up that Hemi Orange and start spraying it on there, all of a sudden it just comes to life. And boy, it pops. I love it. I just finished putting the last coat of Hemi Orange on the engine for the Superbird. So with that task under our belt, I'm going to give it a couple hours to cure. Then we're going to start checking in the parts that just showed up from AMD for the Superbird. Josh, you might even find a 72 Charger Rally. Eric is in the booth applying the direct-to-metal sealer, the DP90, over all of the bare metal so we can actually work on that car. With AMD not making a roof skin for the 71 to 74 Chargers, I had to find a used one. It turns out that the satellite 71 to 74